Welcome back to KMaccTalks. I'm your host, Kevin KMacMcCarthy, and let's get into some new news. Chris D'Elia issued an apology about his sexual accusations and then was promptly sued by his accuser. Let's talk about it. All right, so Chris D'Elia, I guess it was about a couple weeks ago now, he issued this apology. It's titled "It's Been a While," and he talks about how he was addicted to sex and everything. And then on March 2nd, a couple weeks after, his accuser actually sued him for, and he is now in a civil suit, not a criminal suit. He's not going to jail yet because he did this in the state of Connecticut, which I'm currently residing in, and now feel a little more gross for residing in because I had no idea that the age of consent was 16 in Connecticut. Like, why is the age of consent 16? Someone told me it's parental consent. Like, what? So they have to go ask their parents, can we have sex? That doesn't make any sense. Like, she's got to be like, my mom has to, I'd love to have sex with you, Jared, but my mom said no. I asked her, and she said no, so we just can't do it, you know? Or like, the girl is like, yeah, my mom said no, but my dad's way cooler. I'm going to ask my dad. He'll let us have sex. He might even let us borrow his bed. No, that's even creepier. Why is the age of consent 16? Like, if you're even flirting with 18, I feel like that's a problem. That's why Chris D'Elia is just a creepy guy to me now. No matter if he recovers from this and makes a comeback or not, I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to, because if you're in your late 20s or whatever, and you're even close to the age 18 of the girl you're sleeping with, if she's even close to 18, that's creepy. You know, I remember I was 30 and dating a girl that was 23, and that was just almost a little too creepy for me right there, because they're in different worlds. They grew up in a different time period. They like different musicians. It's all different. You watch different movies as a kid, different Disney movies. You know, they grew up with social media their whole lives. I didn't. It's just totally different. It's not like, you know, when our grandparents were young and everyone grew up with no phones, and I think technology was pretty much the same. They were freaking 45 and dating 20-year-olds, and it's not like that anymore. It's just like, I feel like if you're in your 20s, pretty much just date people in your 20s. Why would you even come close to 18 and risk it? And the fact that Connecticut is 16 is just gross. Like, Connecticut making the legal age of consent 16 just bothers me so much. It makes me, like, literally I heard that and had to take a shower because I live here. I mean, why? That's just dirty shit, grimy shit. If you're like 28 and a girl is getting a ride from her parents to your house so you can have sex with her because she still has her permit and doesn't have her license yet, is a bad, like, she's not calling an Uber when you're done. She's like, Mom, can you come pick me up? I'm done having sex with my 28-year-old boyfriend. Like, what? No. If a girl can't drive her own car to your house, you shouldn't be having sex with her. You leave. She can't drive you home. If you're at her house and you're in the car afterwards with her mom, she's driving you home. Like, did you kids have fun today? That's too weird for me. If she can't go into a bar with me and drink with me, then that's a problem. You're doing packy runs. I know everyone doesn't do that. You got to get her alcohol because she can't buy her own. That's a problem. Chris D'Elia said he had a sex addiction and that it was just so easy for him. After every show, he'd get 50 or more messages. He'd respond to every single one of them, which is insane that he does that. That's got carpal tunnel all over it. You're really writing 50 messages? Like, I can't keep track of 2 text messages. I go back and forth. I almost send people the wrong messages. I can't even imagine 50. If his sex addiction was that bad just as a shitty stand-up comedian, imagine if he actually was in a successful movie. Imagine if he was in a TV show that didn't get canceled after 2 seasons. I mean, or any movie that didn't go straight to DVD, or, just any successful, more than a guest spot on a show. I mean, if he was the successful actor like Brad Pitt or Leo DiCaprio, I mean, Chris D'Elia might have died from sex addiction. He might have drained himself, because then it'd really be easy for him. He'd be going crazy. He'd be a shell of himself, just no more fluids left in his body. I mean, instead of focusing on having sex every day with girls in every town you go to, maybe you should have wrote better stand-up material. Maybe you should have focused on writing better jokes after your shows. I never liked Chris D'Elia's stand-up comedy. I always thought he was a good podcaster. I loved Congratulations Podcast. Even though now, how weird is it that he calls his fans, his clan there, babies? How weird is that now? And that he says his clan's all about fucking and sucking. How weird is that now? I mean, Chris D'Elia is becoming the white R. Kelly. He's one successful movie away from peeing on all his girls and taping it on VHS tapes and saving them all in a stack. Now, thank God he didn't get that Army of Dead role. They replaced him for the Army of Dead movie. If he got that, he seriously would have. All he was missing to become the true white R. Kelly was putting all the girls in one house, so he didn't have to wait till he got to their town. R. Kelly peed on girls and put it on VHS. He wanted to watch girls have sex with their boyfriends and have it on their phone. So the parallels are pretty compelling, to say the least. He was apparently having girls. He had a rating system, from 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. And he'd rank these girls, and if they said no to sending him nude pictures or they were hesitant or slow, he would move them from, number 1, she'd get moved down to number 5 or number 7. And then you can move up from 7 to 3. If he had this whole ranking system, I don't want to say it's a sex cult, more of like a sex army. You have got your ranking system. It's like he was running the mafia. Like he's got his hitman on the bottom, then his foot soldiers, then his capos, then the Godfather is number 1. It's like, what? You have a hierarchy to your sex life? You got a ranking system? What kind of... this is crazy. And then I heard the girl, he first started out just wanting naked photos from the women, and then it turned into he wanted the 17-year-old girl, he wanted pictures of them having sex with their 17-year-old boyfriends. Like, while they're having sex, she's like, oh, I'm enjoying this sex that we're having right now, but can I get out my camera and take some pictures of us for I'm fucking Chris D'Elia, by the way, and he just wants some photos. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, I love what you're doing here. Just got to snap a few pictures real quick. Like, no, what guy agrees with that? Like, no, you can't take pictures of me for Chris D'Elia. I'm not doing that. I'm 17 years old. I'm nervous and scared as it is. I don't want to be photographed while I'm having sex. Like, seriously, R. Kelly's probably writing him letters from jail like, hey, good job, bro. You were doing good. I should have thought of the ranking system, man. Should have thought of that. That's a good idea. Really positive reinforcement there. It sounds like he's like a psychologist, like giving him positive reinforcement when they send him naked photos. When you do good things, you get ranked number 1. You do bad things, you get ranked lower. Like, who cares if you're number 5 or number 7? Like, what are you got to defeat number 1 or something? Is this March Madness? Like, if you're a low seed, you're a 16 seed, you gotta, like, when he gets to your town, if you got the 1 seed and the 16 seed in Connecticut, do they gotta fight in front of him to see who gets to have sex with him? They gotta brawl in the parking lot of the hotel. Winner takes all of Chris D'Elia's dick. Like, this is gross. I mean, yeah. winner takes all of Crystalia's balls. But seriously, like, what does he do if he's got a ranking system, and what if it's like a 3 and a 4 seed? Those are pretty close there. Who does he take? Does he take both seeds, or really, does he take the 3 seed? I don't know. I wonder if he can make his bracket available at least. Maybe we could do a little March Madness thing and just see who gets to be the champion in Crystalia's rankings. I think it's only right. He should have been focusing on writing better jokes. He was becoming like the new Dane Cook of comedy. Like, Dane Cook was that kind of attractive, cool, hip guy, young hip guy. All the women thought he was hot, and he was a physical comedian. All he'd do is different voices, do a silly women's voice. Oh, I'm so silly, I can do a woman's voice weird. That's not what a woman sounds like. He's doing a woman's voice, but it's not what women sound like. Oh my God. That's all he relied on, were different voices and the eyebrow thing. The Rock was doing that 10 years ago, but you're a little late with the eyebrow. It's not that impressive. You just look like really does for some reason look like a human eagle. I don't know. I know someone said that before, but he really does. And it was just all physical comedy and gimmicks and everything. None of the jokes were actually truly that funny in a stand-up ever. Like in his I think it was his last special, No Pain. It should have been like intense pain if you watched it, like pain for my eyes and ears because I have to sit through this. It's not no pain, it's a lot of pain to anyone who views this. And that's just how I always thought about it before the sex thing. But now, like, he can't do any jokes about like relationships anymore and his girlfriend and everything, like, because it'd just be like, oh, you're talking about your 17-year-old girlfriend or your real girlfriend, or who are you talking about here, Chris? He's the next Dane Cook, and you see how badly Dane Cook fell off. I think Crystalia is right for that same thing's about to happen, and maybe 5-6 years down the road, he tries to make a little comeback. He's on a few shows, maybe does a tour, but I don't know if he can recover from this one, man. I think it's pretty much over for him. When Louis C.K. is, being like, that guy's fucked up, then you got a problem. Louis C.K. is somewhere dancing right now, doing an Irish jig, because he's not the creepy sex guy in comedy anymore. He's not the worst guy out there. At least Louis just jerked off to of-age women, as far as we know here. I mean, that's a little better at least. He wasn't jerking off to the girls under 18. D'Elia just replaced Louis C.K. as the gross sexual predator, creepy comedian now. It's almost like there's becoming a hall of fame for sexual predator comedians now. I mean, Louis C.K. was in there, and now Crystalia is joining the ranks. It's just like, and once they get canceled, they retire their jerseys in the rafters, their black T-shirts or whatever. Biggest takeaway here is fuck Connecticut. Why the hell are you making your legal age 16? Like, if you're having sex with a girl and she has to make it home by curfew, there's something wrong with that. If your girlfriend is still getting babysit when her parents leave the house, that's a problem. If your girlfriend still has a chore list and it doesn't have a job, that's a problem. If your girlfriend has to get home at night because she's got to wake up early to go to high school, that's a problem. Fuck Connecticut. Like, 18's too legal. It should be 21 and over, as it is. It's gross that it's 16 and over in Connecticut. But apparently Crystalia, because he requested nudes from another state, California or whatever, he's getting in trouble for requesting the nude photos. So, I mean, if he really did this, she's 17 and there's really creepy shit, I hope he gets arrested, because he says he felt entitled and there was no work and everything because he could just have sex every night, and he didn't feel there was anything wrong with that. So maybe getting a little jail time, and he could still have sex every night and wouldn't have to put in any work at all, but it might not be the sex he would prefer to be having. He might be having sex with a very large man named George instead of some girl named Bethany. Instead of having sex with a nice young girl, you're having sex with a very old, large man. So maybe if he enjoys that for a while in prison, he'll learn the errors of his ways. So I don't know. I think Chris D'Elia, I don't think he can come back from this no matter what. There's just too many creepy things coming out. She's 17. I think there's proof. You saw that on the podcast when they're like, oh yeah, you can screenshot Snapchat stories. You saw his face wander. Like, he knows what he did. He did a lot of things wrong. I don't think he can recover. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section below. And make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. I do a new video every single day here on KMaccTalks. We do all sorts of topics, hip-hop, sports, comedy, movies, whatever. We do it all. New videos every single day. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss one. Alright guys, I'm Kevin KMacc McCarthy. Thanks for watching KMaccTalks. Have a great day.